hasn't hunted black bears in 10 years, but that could change fast. On May 4th, activists flooded Lake Eola Park with signs, chants, and raw emotion, fighting to stop a proposed bear hunt that could kill hundreds of bears this December. The Florida Wildlife Commission says it's about safety, but protesters say it's about blood money and outdated thinking. If you care about wildlife, now's the time to act. Watch this episode, share this story out. Welcome. I have the group here from Be an Animal Hero, advocates from Be an Animal Hero, here with me. I'm going to go right into my first question with founder Susan Hargreaves. Susan, after 10 years, they cut off the hunting, which was horrific, and it stunned everyone. After 10 years, why? Why do they want to do it again?
They have a short memory of the world being aghast at the horrific images 10 years ago. It's a new FWC commission, and FWC commission, what people don't realize is are stocked with hunters and landowners. And hunters, what do they like to do? They like to hunt. And they have been planning to bring back the hunt for quite some time, and they keep trying. And now here they are bringing it back again. And it's horrific. It's horrendous. It's like having Ted Bundy in charge of driving women to the prom. The FWC are all hunters, and hunters like to hunt. And that's why we are here right now talking to people to please help. The bears need your help.
And that brings me into my next question. I'm going to ask this for Sky. Hi, Sky. Were you were at the recent protest, correct? Or you were certainly helped to organize it. Can you tell me a little bit about what happened and how many people were there and how it went?
I was not there personally, unfortunately. I did help, but I think that's probably a better question for one of them who was actually.
Okay, Corin, we'll come back to you then. Corin, would you like to address that?
Absolutely. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, you were at the protest. Tell us what happened. What were people saying? What was their reaction? Tell us a little bit about it.
Absolutely. From my experience, a lot of people were out there. They did not agree for this law to pass, for these innocent bears to be killed, to be mantled on a wall, or be used as a trophy, or be, put on as a rug or anything like that. I even witnessed there was a couple hunters out there as well. So people that actually hunt other animals, and they thought it was wrong because from their perspective, they looked at it as a trophy hunt. Because there are hunters, not all hunters are technically painted evil, as we want to say. Some hunters definitely use it as just only for resources. And those were the ones that was upset with the hunters that's trying to take advantage of this law to make it just for trophy, if that makes sense.
It does. I got it. Susan, do you want to weigh in on that?
All hunters to me are killers. And yes, of course, that's because it's true. They are all killers. They don't have to kill to live. They just want to kill for fun. And the fact is this: they have passed a law where it now makes it legal to kill a bear if you're threatened. Oh, I feel threatened. Can you imagine if people could just kill anyone that threatened them? We wouldn't have that many beings left on the earth, I think. And the fact is that yes, Corinna's correct. This is definitely a trophy hunt. At the last one, 10 years ago, there was one hunter that just chopped the paws off the bear. And last year we had monitor stations that the FWC has set up, and we had the photo that you keep showing there of the bear. That was taken by one of our monitors, Robbie Rudderman, who's with our wildlife coexistence presentations, and he was at the check station taking these heartbreaking photos. And that's really what stopped it last time. They were embarrassed by the world's reaction. This is you're not going to believe this. This year, they don't want monitoring stations. They're not going to have anything. Why?
Well, they're going to try to hide it. I have a little clip in the news, so we want to show that it was covered by the news also.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is considering a proposal to allow a black bear hunt in December of this year. We spoke with black bear advocates who tell us what the solution they hope to see is.
The solution is not to kill bears. Most Floridians do not want bears killed, and we can live without killing bears.
I wanted this one where they're talking about the hunt. Let's run this one.
Lake City, they were supposed to kill 304 bears in a week. They killed 298 in 48 hours. They were coming in so fast they had to call the hunt off in 2 days. And
there has not been another Florida bear hunt since 2015. There are supporters of a Florida bear hunt for population control.
Okay, let's address that question, and whoever wants to jump in on this. They say that population is population control and human interaction. We'll cover population control. Go ahead, Susan.
This is how they count bears. They take one small area. Let's just think of it as a postage stamp. Let's just think of it as the state of California. You would take perhaps Monterey Bay, and you would count the scat of a certain species, and then you would just multiply it for the entire state, and that's the number. It's a guessing game, and they're not taking into account the bears who are killed, 300 already this year, from accidents, car accidents, and development and construction, and so they're not taking into consideration that. Why aren't they taking into consideration that? A lot of people are fooled by the name, the Florida Wildlife Conservation Commission, because they assume that, well, that must be their job. They must conserve. But in fact, they're not elected, they're appointed. And they don't have to have any background apart from the appointment is made by the governor. So the governor often, same thing happened last time, and the last time to Rick Scott, he just gave the people that helped him get in, the wealthy landowners and hunters, the positions on the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission. There was one commissioner last time that had a whole building for the heads of the animals that she killed. And one of the things she really wanted to do was to kill a Florida panther. So here she is on the Conservation Commission, and she wanted to bring back killing Florida panthers so she could add bat head on her wall. And the people, I'll tell you who is asking for this. The hunters, of course, but also Safari Club International. Have you ever heard of Safari Club International? Mm-hmm. They are an international hunting club, and they are responsible for stopping.
We really don't like to name individual groups.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I will. Okay.
And we do have to invite them on.
Oh, okay. So rewind.
Yeah, let's rewind a little.
Rewind.
Let's just say general. You can say groups, etc. Just don't name anybody if you would not.
So make no mistake.
Mm-hmm.
These are hunters who are asking for this hunt. And the FWC commission is stocked with hunters, and they always have been. I've been going to their meetings for 36 years.
Right.
It's always hunters. One meeting, I was behind one of them, and their screensaver was them holding up the heads of all the different animals that they've killed. The blood's still running out of their noses. The fact is that the hunters are asking for this, and the public is being ignored just like it was ignored 10 years ago.
I want to jump in here, Susan. I want to jump in here a minute because there is some stuff on the news. There's definitely information out there that there has been an increase in the bears with the interaction with the population. There has been news reports of that. Anyone can address these. You guys are also invited to jump in on that.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Would you please jump in and let's talk about some of the issues that they're saying. I want to talk about why they're saying this imminent, because this is coming up, right? The decision. We want to talk about the dates and all. So let's just go ahead, please, Corey.
Absolutely. So when it comes to the whole population control, first we have to look at the type of species. So the Florida black bear used to be endangered. This is a species that was almost wiped out. And now we're going ahead and putting a label saying that we need to have a population control. Like, how can one species that was almost wiped out completely, now within just a few years, within 10 years, now we have to control the population? That's the first question we have to ask. Number two, when we look at it from a reproductive state, a female Florida black bear, just to have one cub is around 2 to 3 years, sometimes up to 9 years. So even when it came to Susan, when they're doing the math has to be completely wrong, because they're not just pumping out babies like a roach, like a cockroach. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That makes sense, right? Like cockroaches, like when they have babies, like thousands, right? But with bears, it's a way slower rate. Extremely slow rate. And then number three, the last I would say, is when it comes to the real estate boom. Right now, we're building more real estate. We need more land. More people want to move down to Florida. Is it truly population control, or do we just need more land and we're taking over the land and the habitat that the black bear lives in, and then creating rules and regulations to serve our own particular purpose and gain when it comes to finance?
Right. Does anyone else want to weigh in? Sky?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the danger lies in the fact that this bear species is the bear species of Florida. It's the native bear species of Florida. And with the numbers already where they're at with this species, if we allow hunting to happen and the numbers to double and triple and continue, then there is fear of extinction and fear of the fact that black bears, which are the Florida bear, won't be here for much longer. And that's the fear, and that's the part that no one wants to talk about, especially the hunters. And what breaks my heart too is in December, they're not out and about looking to terrorize humans. They're hibernating, specifically black bears. They are in a state of hibernation called torpor. And they pretty much go in their den. It's a semi-hibernation, and they conserve their energy. So they're not out and about hurting humans and causing destruction, but they're actually just, with their babies and conserving their energy and making sure that they can survive during the winter.
Right. And Susan, would you go in a little bit into during the hunt, what happens? And when she was talking about the babies, I'll let you explain from there. I know you know what I'm referring to.
It's actually hard to comprehend that the 2 days of mass bear slaughter in the woods that happened in 2015, where cubs were killed, the first bear killed was a lactating mother. It's hard to comprehend that this is going to be worse, because now they're going to chase bears with dogs. They're going to bait bears. They're going to use pneumatic bow devices. They are planning on having the killing. They want it for 23 days in December. Now, it was 2 days last time, and it was 320 bears. And activists were saying, hey, you've reached your so-called limit. They're even allowing 10 people to shoot up one bear, and 9 of them don't even have a permit. If you have one person with a permit, so you can have guest hunters. So that is definitely for the people who make money on organizing hunting expeditions, and if they might be outfitters, and they'll say, oh, come on, and you have a chance to kill a Florida black bear. The hunting hasn't been open for 10 years. This Florida black bear only exists, the species, in Florida. Come on, and it'll cost you this much only. So they are planning more of a massacre on our Florida black bears. And 92% of the individuals that were surveyed in the Naples Daily News survey were against it. Now, it's normally 95%. Definitely most of the Florida human population does not want to see bears killed. And those call numbers that they quote, it's actually calls about all bear sightings. It's not, they want you to think that they're saying, oh, it's all people complaining and it's some sort of wildlife coexistent issue. It's not. The fact is that the people are under the misimpression that the FWC wants to hear, oh, they're thrilled. A bear went through the back of my yard. I saw a bear and a cub go in the woods.
I think
FWC, and they put it down as a call, like a nuisance call, but it's not. They're thrilled.
not. Yeah. And I think a lot of it is they say the garbage management is that draws them into the yards. But the fact that there's only been one documented death in all the years is evidence that it can't be, how they're portraying them. I do have a little clip. The news media interviewed a gentleman living in a situation. Let's just
tells me as development continues, he's seen more bears coming in the area, foraging for food.
I wouldn't say it's a nuisance thing or something. It's just something that animals do. They're animals. That's the reason why they live outside. And I think it probably could have been avoided.
Others here tell me that while the attack is highly unusual, they've noticed not only more bears, but closer interactions.
Okay, so who wants to address that? Anybody want to go? I know Susan. Corinne, or just let Susan? Go ahead, Susan. I don't want to stop.
I can tell you exactly why there's more interaction. People are going in and they're taking saw palmetto berries and they're selling them to health food stores. And that is a food source. And there's also, of course, more construction. And since COVID, it used to be 1,000 people a day moving into Florida. Now it's approximately 1,250 a day moving into Florida. So we do have more people. And then also, I believe that this recent allowance of people to kill or harass bears if they feel threatened is going to create more situations, because it used to be the person might just hide away. But now let's say they think, oh, great, there's a bear. I'm going to say I feel threatened. I'm going to go now after the bear. That's going to create more situations like that.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. Anybody else want to jump in? Otherwise, we'll go to another question. Okay, this is a big question. This is looming, right? Let's give some of the dates. There's protests coming. We want to tell people what they can do, what action they can take now. It's super important. I know it is to you guys too. So, Susan, you want to take that one, or go ahead?
May 17th, there's statewide protests. And so wherever you are in the state of Florida, if you go to beardefenders.org, then you can see, if you are a Florida citizen, where you can go and join the protest. May 20th and 21st, in Ocala will be the FWC commission meetings. I call them FWC sham commission meetings, because what they do is they actually give you a minute to speak, perhaps, and they actually have in the agenda, they'll say it may or may not be moved at any time. We may or may not discuss it. It's up to us. But having said that, it is very important to attend these meetings. I'm really hoping that Corinne Sutton will come, because Corinne is a manly man, and I hope it's okay that I say that. I hope nobody's offended. And a lot of times it does seem to be macho type men, nothing against macho type men, but that want to do this, that want to kill, and to have someone that is, not that way, it could help a lot. And really, we need to use these meetings, and that's what we are doing, to get our message out. And that's why we got the first word in this particular communication. When I knew they were going to head it this way 2 months ago, I called the local people, and we all gathered together, we all united, and we created that rally in Orlando, gathering people together, because we have to lead the conversation, because we can't depend on the FWC meetings to get a word in, really.
Well, that brings us back to what we can do, and let's drill down on that and make sure everybody that's watching will please, first of all, share out this broadcast. That's the first thing you can do. It's amazing. It's like if you take a pillow full of feathers and just shoot it out all over the place. So that's a big thing you can do. We'll all be sharing it out. But what else can they do, guys? What can they do? So
they can contact Governor DeSantis, And we have the contact information on our website. If you go to beananimalhero.org and you go to the founders blog, you'll actually see I had an op-ed piece in the Sun Sentinel in Orlando and also South Florida. And it actually has in the op-ed piece who to contact underneath that when you go to that op-ed piece. So you could see that we're asking people to contact the FWC Commission because yes, let's just say it's loaded, the commission, but still we need to we need to comment. We need those emails going to FWC. We need those phone calls. We need people from all over the world because they need to realize that if this goes ahead, they are going to regret it. They are going to be on the world stage. They are going to be embarrassed. They're going to be shown not to be doing the opposite of conserve, which actually means to protect from harm, conserve.
Right.
That is not in my book what they're planning to do to Florida's black bears.
And we don't have an environmentalist on, but could you imagine? I know one thing, I did interview an environmentalist about wolves, that they took the wolves out of an area and it actually caused streams to dry up. So if you took the bears out, imagine if there were no bears, what would happen? Anybody want to weigh in on that? I mean, if this really goes through, how serious is this?
Well, I used to rehabilitate injured wildlife for 16 years, so I actually studied this, so I can wear the environmentalist hat and the animal rights activist
go
hat.
for it.
And the fact is that they're a keystone species. So just even frogs are too, and alligators. So if you take them out of the equation, the wildlife coexistence, it is going to affect all of the species because they're all interlocked. And we don't even know everything that a bear could be doing that helps the other animals. We don't even know. I mean, they could host a certain type of bug that likes to go on bear fur, and which feeds another type of animal, which another insect, and we don't know. We don't know what could happen. And I know in Ireland, when I go there, and Europe, and they mourn the fact that they don't have bears anymore. They mourn it. We don't want to be in that situation. And also, let's think of the individuals that will be sleeping with their families, having no idea the mass pandemonium, bloody massacre that's in their midst by letting people loose in the woods with high-powered weapons, pneumatic devices, high-powered archeries and boards, bait. They will just be going out to, they will wake up and think, oh, something smells good. Bam. We need to all get together for this. I don't care where a person lives. Really, please go to beananimalhero.org and click on the article about the bears, and then you can read that, but you can also, more importantly, just see where to contact the FWC, where to contact Governor DeSantis, because he can do something. As a matter of fact, the last one that was stopped, the governor realized that this was really going to damage his political career, having any part of this.
Wonderful. So all of us can do that, whether we live we're a resident of Florida or not, correct? All of us can contact him. It will still have a tremendous impact, particularly because he has, political aspirations to move forward to a bigger and better. But we are actually pretty close to out of time. We want to talk a little bit about being an animal hero, the transition, what you guys are all involved in. So let's just go around and talk about that for a few minutes before we unfortunately have to close. So Susan, why don't you start off? There is a transition from the foundation that you started many years ago, and you've done tremendous work. People can check it out at This Is the Same, correct? This is the address from now on, correct? Okay, so go ahead and tell us about it.
Well, I'm thrilled to say that, yes, I've been educating since 1980 to prevent animal cruelty, because that's how we're going to turn the tap off of cruelty. But I'm thrilled to say that I don't feel like I'm here by myself anymore, yelling in the wilderness. I have a team with me. And I have a team of Veganza animal heroes. We go into the schools and we actually educate about being kind to all species of animals. And I'll let Corinne and Sky tell about what they do with animal hero kids.
Yeah, we'll start with Sky. Sky, talk a little bit. What is Veganza? I'm still a little confused about that.
So Veganza is the magical superhero squad that roams the earth and saves animals and protects all animals, regardless of species. And specifically, the Veganza series is targeted for children. We know children love superheroes. We know children love magic and creation and imagination. So it's just very powerful, the fact that Corinne and Susan and I get to go into these schools as these characters. I play Courage the Mermaid, who is a mermaid from the deep seas, and she protects all of her finned friends, and she lets these children know that fish are friends. And we all play a different, very vital role. So it's been really cool. It's been really beautiful to realize that impact, because children are the future. And also, part of the book, it's really awesome that we're here today talking about bears, because in one of the series, we actually have a situation where Veganza freezes the hunters that are about to hunt bears. So it's just like a little slither of the fact of what we do, kind of showcasing the children that there are real harms in the world, and it's never animals. It's, mostly humans. And what we really want to just promote is be an animal hero and protect animals.
That's awesome. So Corinne, can you weigh in now about that? I know it's pretty exciting what you guys do.
Absolutely. So I played the character Freedom, similar to Courage the Mermaid, but mine is just with any type of animal that flies. And exactly what Courage was saying, well, when Sky was saying, it's a good way to educate children when it comes to animals and what really goes on in a PG way, because obviously, like you saw in the comic book, we show what hunters are doing with bears, but we make it a little bit more PG versus the reality, because obviously we show the reality, kids would be traumatized. But it also plants little seeds into the adults as well, because when they're reading these books to their children, they can realize some of their faults and how they can correct it as well.
Right. And so,
Can I just
yeah, 1 second, Susan, I'm going to let you jump in. So is this happening just in Florida? Are you guys all live in Florida, or is this more, are you spread? I know you probably have aspirations to spread more, but where are you guys doing this? Are you all in the same state and everything?
Can I just
all around the world?
Sure. So you're doing it all around the world?
Absolutely.
All around the world. We actually just got back from out of town to, if I may, Susan, let them know that we were just in Colorado at a sanctuary, which was really, really beautiful, at Loving Arms Sanctuary. And we went to a school, a creative arts school. We were able to speak to children who are beautiful, beautiful artists. And it was really awesome. So it's great. It's not just in Florida, it's nationwide, worldwide, and we're hoping to continue that.
Okay, Susan, I'm going to give you the last word here. You can go ahead and show the book.
I really wanted to show that so you could see Corinne and Courage the Mermaid here.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And that's our graphic team novel. And this is our newest one, Veganza Animal Heroes Guide to Save Animals and the Earth. And the artist
for sale. Where can people buy them?
They're on Amazon. They're on animalherokids.org or beananimalhero.org. And if you buy them through us, then we get more funding for our programs. And we gifted 5 schools to school libraries. And we were also in Ireland, Luxembourg, England, and we were launching different books over there. And so we were actually on the front page of the Dublin News as the world's first plant-based superheroes. They actually called us vegan and that's why I created Veganza. So we get that word vegan in there.
Sorry, that's just brilliant, Susan. I love the work you're doing. And if you ever need another character, I'm down to play one. I have an acting background. I'm totally serious. I would love to do it. But anyway, beyond that, I'd love to have you on again and talk more about what you guys are doing. But we do want to iterate at the end here about the bears. Let's make one more quick plea about the bears and what people can do. Go ahead, Susan.
Go to beananimalhero.org to see where to attention your comments, whether you're in Florida or not, it doesn't matter. So we want people to contact Governor DeSantis. We have the phone number and email of the FWC and him on our website. And we also have the information for May 20th and May 21st, the meetings in Ocala of the FWC Commission. You'll have 1 to 3 minutes to address the commissioners, but you have to be there for mainly 2 days to get to that point, because they may or may not. They have the complete freedom to say, oh, we're not talking about it now, we're going to talk about it later, or it's too many people, so we're going to do it. But so plan on being there for 2 days. And also we are looking for people to do some banner surprises, because we have
quickly
that when it was on the news on Channel 13 News, you could see that big bear banner, and it's about 5 feet by 20 feet. And we need people to help hold it in the surprise situations, legally, but yet surprising.
That's so awesome. Well, you guys are doing amazing work. Does anybody have any last words they want to throw in before we go?
You're doing amazing work.
Oh, thank you.
And I salute you for your perseverance and your long-term work with your show. So I was on it.
Yeah, you were on it back in the 2018, right?
Yes. And so good for you for, really sticking with it, of course, because it's hard to be dedicated, but not so much. Once you realize the amount of suffering in the world for animals, it's almost like we have a weight on our shoulders, right. And then to move forward becomes harder. So when I see people like you that are continue moving forward and are here for the long haul, speaking up for the animals in the way that you do, I just have to commend you also for
you're sweet. Thank you for saying that. You guys are all awesome. I would love to have you on individually again, and we'll talk more about Be an Animal Hero. I just want to show
that music video too. So
yeah, we want to see that. Okay, and this is remember everyone, download the app Unchained TV. It's totally free. Our streaming network. There's so much great programming on there. All sorts of things. Also interviews, but much, much more. Cooking shows, documentaries, bodybuilding. We have Corinne on it. We have so many great things on there for you guys to see. So please watch it. Yeah. Thank you all so much again. We'll see you next time. People, please take action. This is extremely important. Go to beananimalhero.org. Bye-bye for now. Okay, I'm going to end this, but you guys don't have to go.
Okay.